What do you think about all the scenes that were in the trailer and the teasers that then we've put, you know, so much energy into theorizing about and then don't end up in the film?
It's disappointing on one hand, and on one hand, but at the same time, I feel like everything that they gave us and showed us that ended up not in the film, I still think it was in the spirit of the characters, and I think that the speculation and stuff that it inspires isn't wasted. I think that stuff is probably more or less still kind of canon. It just didn't make the edit of the film, probably for time. So I mean, like there was. It wasn't like they were saying like she is the new chosen one, and then we saw the movie and there's nothing about a chosen one. It's just not even a thing. Like everything that they gave us still like pretty much happened. Like the Kylo Ren igniting his lightsaber from behind scene, pretty iconic in terms of we saw it in trailers for like 2 years, you know, and it became such a mainstay, but it wasn't in the film, but it wasn't really missed, I don't think. And we saw it just from a different angle for the most part.
Yeah,
so
I couldn't believe they didn't include that. Just out of like, we've made this iconic.
Yeah. It is pretty strange when you get down to it, because that's going to be one of the memories that we have of the ramp up to the movie, if not the movie itself, and it's not even in it. On the other hand, I when I very first saw the movie, I didn't notice. It wasn't until we started like trying to recall what wasn't, you know, in the movie that we had seen that it became apparent. Yeah, that wasn't in there.
Yeah, like, because I love like when you watch the teaser and like there was that scene, because I was like, you know, who's he walking towards? There's going to be someone there. Who's it going to be?
Right.
You know, is it one of those guys? Is it Luke? Like, who knows? And the other scene was the Finn popping up, which was like the first new bullet footage that we saw officially. Like, I sort of had a feeling that when I watched that in the film, it wouldn't have that dramatic, you know, the pop-up effect like it had in the teaser, which it didn't. It was more when he woke up on the ground that had. But I loved like seeing those scenes and thinking what just happened before that and what's going to happen next. And I don't know, it's something like not fair to the game of, and you know, they're just making a film, but it just seems like it's a bit disingenuous for knowing that we're all going to be, you know, trying to work out the puzzle, but it's like in the jigsaw, there's extra pieces that don't even fit into the puzzle. That's a dick move if you're producing a jigsaw with extra pieces, by the way. Yeah. For me, I think the thing that I didn't like about it was how many extra pieces that there actually were. And that's where I think it starts to become a little disingenuous. You know, but at the same time, so much of that marketing was put together and produced before the final edits of the film were even close to being locked down. So, the one that is, to me, a bit unacceptable is the splicing up of Han Solo's "It's True, All of It" from the teaser to the movie. I just found that line in the teaser was just instantly an iconic line.
Yes.
It's almost like in 10 years, like that line will be lost to why... Well, that line's not even in the movie. What are you talking about? That's not an iconic line from the film.
Right. Yeah. Or you're quoting it incorrectly.
Yeah.
is how it will feel. Yeah. Yeah, I do think that was probably the best way to say that. But at the same time, I mean, I guess you just kind of have to go with the fact that marketing is marketing, and it wants us to know things. And so that was the point. The point was to inform us of those general ideas.
Yeah, I just found it like the first time I saw the movie, and when he said it in a different order, that's... What? To me, it'd be like, well, let's just run with the trailer version because we've accustomed the viewers to it. I found that really, really strange. but that's just me, and I've got some OCD about that sort of stuff. Thanks for listening to our podcast portion. To hear the full episode with Jason Ward of Making Star Wars, go to steelwars.com or download us free on iTunes, or even better, download our free iPad and iPhone app to access all the current episodes. We go in depth with Jason about how MakingStarWars.net became the internet's #1 site for legitimate Star Wars set leaks and news, how he's kept news secret to not scare the fandom, and drops my jaw with perhaps the most horrible sounding spoiler ever. We discuss in depth the pros and cons of The Force Awakens, some amazing sounded planned scenes that never made it, plus we theorize if the fan reaction to Rey might actually change who her parents turn out to be. All this and more on episode 75 of the Steele Wars podcast. I hope you check it out, and may that Force be with you.